The Guadalupe River looking very different, as if it was just an afternoon shower that fell here. You would never guess just by looking at this river that a wall of water 30 feet deep was running through this riverbed, taking everything and anything with it. A daring rescue in the raging flash flood waters of the Guadalupe River. The now viral moment playing out in Carl Jeter's backyard in Center Point. What did you hear that drew your attention over there? What was she saying?
She was screaming, help, help, help.
Devin Smith has already been hanging on here for hours. She, along with her mom, dad, aunt, uncle, and sister were camping along the river in Kerrville. The flash flood sweeping all of them away.
She noted that there was a refrigerator that multiple times had taken her under and debris that kept trying to pull her underwater until she finally was able to get up into the tree.
She told about RVs going by and trees and stuff.
After floating more than 15 miles down the river, somehow Devin grabbing onto this tree, holding on for dear life, until Carl heard her screams and the rescue crews saved her.
We gotta get back across.
There's no words. I mean, it's a miracle. She said, you know, I guess God had a better plan for me.
Customs and Border Patrol. How you doing?
I just haven't felt the urge to do something like this and felt the fight or flight since I was at war in the military.
Everyone has their own reason, their own drive to help.
Well, so the family has closure.
They know where they're missing. They're not missing. They know where
Right.
they're at. They know they're found.
Here, we call that Texans helping Texans. And by the hundreds, they came out in the hill country to find their neighbors, their friends, people from the next town or two over.
Odds are it hasn't been searched, so we're going to give our efforts, and yeah, well, hopefully it turns out something positive.
Garrett Hugo and his buddy paddling up the Guadalupe River. They started here in Center Point, getting a unique perspective of the now torn up riverbanks that twist and turn through these small communities.
I'm looking for survivors. I'm looking for unfortunate non-survivors so they can have a final resting place.
On the banks, people hiking, looking in the now gigantic piles of tree trunks and torn up trucks that litter the river. In the sky, helicopters are scanning for anything that might lead them to answers. And on horseback, volunteers are bringing those answers to families.
We decided we should look in that spot a little bit more before we went back down, and that's when we found it.
So the girl that was with us was like, I feel like we need to really look, like I'm drawn to this tree, and
Sure enough.
she was right.
I walked up and he was kind of hesitant. And he looked down and there she was. Different, yeah, it takes a while to process it.
We covered her with a towel.
That's the reality of what our first responders and volunteers are seeing. It's incredibly hard and emotional, but when they find closure for a family.
This area has been very near and dear to our families for a long time.
It's the vacation David Fry's family looks forward to every summer. This year, it's 33 of them coming to the River Resort Inn in Hunt, Texas.
Yeah, but our aunt and uncle were in this unit.
And it might be the last. You can see how life is stopped still here. Swim trunks hanging on the wall, dominoes waiting for the next game, and a movie lying by the only road in and out of town. The raging Guadalupe River created this hellscape after rising more than 25 feet in under an hour, all in the middle of the night.
So we went through banging on doors, just trying to notify as many people as possible and get them out and push them up to the road. A couple of vehicles had already been lost off the roadway to fast water, and so
They had no choice but to climb up onto the roof of the building, hoisting one another up. David saving his family, others at the hotel, and even those stranded in homes across the street. You had a whole village of people that you had to worry about. What drives you to help even more people?
it's the only thing that matters.
They all survived. As the storm continues a few miles down the river,
And I just screamed. I called 911, nothing happened. And I screamed, God, I don't know what to do.
Diana Smith waking up to find her house surrounded by floodwater. It was too late to evacuate.
Open the front door and it sweeps both my dogs different directions. And I'm panicking, thinking, now what the hell am I gonna do?
I said a prayer when I was standing on my porch. Both my parents are deceased. And I said, Mom, Dad, God, help.
She and her two dogs surviving by jumping in a kayak and literally riding out the storm.
Do you think it's that prayer is why you're here today?
Yeah. I have a kid.
Diana and David are among the survivors here in Kirk County who found a way to survive the impossible.
I don't know what to think. I think I'm still in shock.
You know, it was a very, very close call, and had we been 10 or 15 minutes later, you know, it would have been too late.
Ron Duke is an 80-year-old preservationist. He's a Vietnam veteran. He worked at a sporting goods company that his family owned in Houston, Texas. He was a true naturalist. There was never a day that you could not go kayaking.
Ron Duke, 80 years young, lives life Ron's way.
He never knew a stranger.
Never knew a stranger.
Hunt, Texas is a small town. Everyone knows one another here. Ron owns a mountain sports store. He built it not just to be a part of the community, he wants people to feel at home, his home.
And so it was like an open air shop. There were no doors. You could just come in and talk. He wasn't worried about money.
Nope.
He was here for the fun of it.
Yeah.
This is what remains. Just wood piled up. No kayaks, just a paddle.
While there's still a little bit of a remnant of his shop and store, his house on the other side of the street, we can't say the same. Just on the other side of where this brush is where Ron likely was when these raging floodwaters came through Hunt. Not even a speck of his house remains.
We're standing in Ron's home, what would have been his home. But imagine it 30 feet higher.
The flash flooding washing away any trace that someone lives here, including Ron. He was sleeping here when the raging Guadalupe River swept through here Friday morning. And that's the eerie part.
His most loved and treasured thing in the world, he fought for the river.
That the thing he loved so much, he went to be with it.
Is that how you look at it?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's the only way I can have peace.
At this point in the story, you might be thinking that Cynthia and her daughter Nicole are Ron's family.
Flipped upside down.
That's not the case. They're friends who are as close as family because that's just who Ron is. A friend that anyone would be lucky to have.
We're grateful that he was friends with my dad for so long.
And I believe in God. I believe he's merciful, you know. And if Ron didn't make it, I just hope and pray that it was very fast.
Well, professionally, I'm retired from a insurance brokerage and military, etc. My life is, my family's life, my wife and I's life is disaster relief. Those are not good vans. We go into a community and instead of being first responders, we're first impactors.
Going down the road that connects these now devastated hill country towns, you'll spot little glimpses of hope nestled amongst the ruins of so many lives. Paintings of big red hearts, in words like Jesus wept or hearts hurt. What does heart hurt mean?
Everybody can relate to a hurting heart. It's okay for them for a window of time to weep, to mourn, to say, my heart is broken. It's broken. I don't need more barbecue. I don't need more hand sanitizer. I need my heart fixed.
Dave Graham goes by Cowboy Dave. He's the man behind these inspirational messages. Amidst the pure destruction, he drops signs of hope.
And they drive by their community and they see hell, and then they're like, that's nice. And I'm gone, so it's anonymous. Isn't that great? Great about cows.
He truly is a first impactor. Cowboy Dave has helped heal well over 40 communities around the country struck by natural disasters.
This is the worst thing I've ever seen.
Which is why he's painting a special piece for the hill country.
Broken heart. Well, no, this will be a strong heart.
On a big boulder that the raging Guadalupe River seemingly dropped here last Friday, Cowboy Dave is leaving behind his most recognized creation, a big red heart.
So my whole purpose of what I do is to give someone 15 seconds to drive by and be like, what the heck? Or, that's nice.
What they deserve is a chance to smile again. Now to the worst part of this story. All 5 of Devon's family members who were swept away along in the flash flooding with her have yet to be found. Her family now joining many others right here in the Texas Hill Country that are left searching for some sort of answer. In Center Point, Texas, Gage Golding, NBC News.